Every year, thousands of people go missing. Most are found quickly, some are found too late, but a rare few are found in ways so bizarre, so impossible, that even seasoned investigators are left speechless. In this documentary, we examine 3 solved missing person cases where every answer raises 10 more questions. A family found locked inside their own home for 9 years. A man who walked into a hospital and somehow ended up in a room he could never have reached. And a child who vanished into the forest, only to reappear under circumstances investigators still cannot explain. These are the stories you were never meant to hear. Our first story begins in 2010 on a remote farm in Central Europe. A family of 5 lived there, seemingly happy. Then one day they were gone. A car was still in the driveway. A half-cooked meal sat on the stove. Mail was left unopened. There were no signs of a struggle. Nothing was out of place except for the family themselves. Neighbors assumed they had just moved away without saying goodbye. Police were less convinced. But after months of searching with no bodies and no leads, the case went cold. The house sat empty, a silent monument to a family that had simply vanished. 9 years passed. In 2019, the abandoned property was sold to a new owner who began renovations. One day, while working in the basement, workers noticed a strange, hollow sound behind one of the walls. Curious, they chipped away the plaster and found something that wasn't on any floor plan, a locked metal door. It was seamlessly built into the wall, and stranger still, the hinges were welded shut from the outside. The police were called. Officers arrived and used heavy tools to pry the door open. What they found inside stunned everyone. Beyond the welded door was a narrow corridor, which led to a second reinforced door. And inside that door was a single windowless room. There was one light bulb, and mattresses were lined up against the wall. And on those mattresses was the missing family. All 5 of them, alive. They were malnourished, incredibly pale, and emotionally withdrawn, but they were alive. One of them, a young boy, had not even been born when the family first disappeared. He had lived his entire life inside that sealed, secret room. What happened in there? The family shared very little, but the oldest child gave one chilling sentence. Father said we had to stay until the world was safe again. Investigators pieced together the story. The father had been convinced an apocalypse was coming. Years before, he secretly built the room as a bunker. When he decided the time was right, he forced his family inside for their protection. At some point after sealing them in, he died inside the room with them. The children, terrified and conditioned, stayed. They survived on stocked jars of food and refilled water barrels from a hidden pipe. On the wall, calendars marked over 3,000 days of isolation. To this day, the surviving family members refuse to speak publicly about their ordeal. The mother was never found. Our next case takes us to South Africa. A 28-year-old man named Sandile Sibiya was admitted to a hospital with a broken leg. Everything seemed routine. Security footage shows him entering the emergency ward, being assessed by staff, and then walking down a corridor on crutches. At 1:12 in the morning, cameras recorded him leaving his bed and wandering down the hallway. That was the last time he appeared on any hospital camera. He never left the building, but he was gone. The search was extensive. Hospitals are covered in cameras. Entrances, exits, elevators, stairwells, all are monitored. Sandile appeared on none of them. Police searched everywhere: storage rooms, rooftops, ventilation ducts, laundry chutes, even the morgue and parking garages. Nothing. It was as if he had evaporated from inside a well-lit, fully staffed building. 2 weeks later, a hospital worker reported a foul smell coming from a restricted maintenance area deep in the hospital's sublevels. Inside, behind heavy machinery and tangled metal pipes, they found Sandile's body. The discovery made no sense. This room was locked from the outside and required a key card for access. It had no ventilation route connecting it to the patient floors above. There were 0 cameras covering the room or the corridor leading to it. Experts reviewed every frame of security footage again. There was simply no way Sandile could have reached that room. The only corridor leading to it required passing 3 separate cameras, all of which showed nothing. His death was officially ruled unexplained. The case remains one of the most baffling disappearances in hospital history. Our final story happened in 2003. A 6-year-old boy in Scandinavia disappeared while walking home from school. A massive search operation began immediately. Teams combed the forests, lakes, roads, and towns around his home. But after 2 weeks, with no sign of the boy, authorities concluded that survival was unlikely. His parents, however, refused to give up hope. Months later, a logging crew was cutting trees miles away from where the boy had last been seen. There, in the middle of the dense woods, they found a child's shoe, a small backpack, and a school photo. Everything was clean and untouched by the weather, as if it had been placed there only recently. This was especially strange because the area had already been thoroughly searched with dogs, and no scent had been detected at the time. Following this new clue, searchers pushed 2 kilometers deeper into the woods. There they found a small, isolated hunting cabin. It was locked from the outside. They broke in, and inside they found the missing boy. He was weak, dehydrated, and frightened, but he was alive. The lock showed no signs of tampering. When they asked the boy who had been feeding him, he gave a simple answer. A woman. She said she could only visit at night. No woman was ever identified. The cabin had no roads leading to it. No footprints were found nearby, and there was no food, except for what the child described the mysterious woman bringing him. Investigators eventually closed the case due to a lack of evidence. Unofficially, officers admit they have no rational explanation for how he survived. These 3 cases are separated by continents, cultures, and circumstances, but they share disturbing patterns. People trapped in places no one would ever expect to look. Doors and rooms sealed from the outside. Disappearances from busy, monitored environments. And reappearances that defy all logic, leaving investigators with details they simply cannot explain. Sometimes people are not missing. They are just somewhere we have not looked. Somewhere they were placed. Somewhere they should never have been. Investigators rarely admit it, but privately, they know that some missing persons cases just don't make sense. Some discoveries feel fundamentally wrong, and some answers are too strange to ever fit into an official police report. Not every solved case brings closure. Some just open up a whole new set of mysteries. The family locked away for 9 years. The man who vanished inside a busy hospital. The boy kept alive by a woman no one can identify. All of them were found, but their discoveries challenge everything we think we know about disappearance. The truth is simple. Being found doesn't always mean the story is over. Sometimes being found is where the horror truly begins. Thanks for watching.